You could take all the extra fat and then give them like wigs and clothes.
And that's what we did often on that show. We gave wigs to fat. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 20 Minutes of Tears with Greg and Brian Altano.
That's right. We are back. We're playing Tears of the Kingdom. We're having fun. We're checking out towers. We're doing some shrines. We're talking about the reproductive processes of several of the enemy species in this game.
Well, I mean, they leave it open to interpretation, and we're here to interpret. That's what it's all about.
They got here somehow.
Oh, hold on. So I just marked the tower over there.
Okay.
Which is all well and good, but we said we were going to go get the dragon tier. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Where was that again? Did we...
I was like, well, clearly I'll be able to see it from wherever I go.
You know what? That classic Tears of the Kingdom goof right there is... we go to do something, we get distracted, and we go do something else, and then we forgot the other thing we were looking at. We haven't done that one yet? Oh, no. Can we see it from here? The hole?
No, because they're really hard. I mean, you know, they ain't 4K textures, you know what I mean? Like, nothing pops in, you can't find nothing in this game.
Right.
But I'm down there just to go. But yeah, we haven't not done that one, right? Because, it would be on the calendar there.
So yeah, if you're just checking out the show, we've been just hanging out in Greg's old save file.
I just took a month off to review other video games because it's my job.
Yeah, you know, and he also had to take some time to make up excuses. So that was, you know, he's been working on those. Those were pretty. They need some work. But either way, he's going back to.
We play in 20 minutes increments. If we were hit the button, if we were hit the goddamn button, we play.
Playing 20-minute increments. This is a clearly front runner for Game of the Year, I would say.
I was wondering. That's the question I wanted to get to with you guys. How are you? And I know this is very much in colloquialism, in conversation. How are you guys talking about Game of the Year? Because for us, what we keep doing is doing all right, well, what is going to be Game of the Year behind Zelda? Like, I feel like it's a foregone conclusion that this is going to be it. Hopefully, Starfield. I know there's arguments for a bunch of different games, but it really does feel like we're going to be like, yes, Game of the Year is Zelda, but what is number 2? Number 2 is the race we're talking about.
Yeah, I think that makes it more interesting, right? And I mean, of course, there's also, you know, Starfield and all this other stuff that comes out this year. But at IGN, we have like a very, we have a very professional process, and that was we built a Slack channel called IGN Game of the Year. Somebody typed Tears of the Kingdom in it, and then they locked everybody out of Slack. No. The thing is, this game came out in May.
Yeah.
And we all know that there is a recency bias that does happen. Course. And there's the back half of this year is stacked, right?
The whole year's stacked. Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. We got Starfield. We got a bunch of other games. I'm sure there'll be a Call of Duty in there, which everyone thinks wins Game of the Year at IGN every year. Turns out, never has. But I think there will be something that comes out that might catch everybody off guard, that floats at the top of the pile. But this one had such an impact that it's going to be hard to move away from. One of the ones I'm worried about.
The conversation, and it's so hard to believe, hard to do in this day and age. Oh, that was an easy one to get to. I like
amazing.
That one. Where, you know, I feel like games come and go, amazing games come and go, where you're all about them for a week and yada yada. But like, Tears of the Kingdom has been still to this day it's talked about. I don't even know when this video is going live, but it's still going to be talked about by the time you get there in terms of people are still actively discovering and having fun in it.
What I feel bad for is there are games that would have won Game of the Year in any other year if it wasn't for X, right? Like there was the God of War year, right? Where we had Red Dead and like a whole bunch of other big games, and like all those games like could have won Game of the Year.
Spider-Man, right?
Spider-Man. Yeah. 2020. We had Ghost of Tsushima. We had The Last of Us Part 2. We had the PS5 and the Series X launched with Demon Souls, Miles Morales. Like we got that fucking Astrobot game, which is amazing. There's so many good games. And those are the really interesting ones where there isn't like a definitive front.
I love it when there's a scrum.
Yeah.
When it's like one of those things where it's like, well, this could do it, but I think it's going to split the vote with this, which opens it up for the third game.
Yeah.
Well, the way we do Kinda Funny Game of the Year right now is that we do a blind vote and we do a ranked top 10.
Yes.
Which is great because then you can put your points and your chips on number one, but what's happened so many times with us is like everybody's mid-game You know what I mean? Like your game that's in your 4 or 5 slot, everybody puts it in 4 or 5, which makes it the game of the year. The other games are behind it.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, it adds a chaotic element to the debate,
Yeah.
You know, and it makes it. It brings a little math into something that's otherwise like just pure passion.
Of course,
right?
Something you can't quantify.
Yes,
right.
It's otherwise it's like unbridled enthusiasm and fanboyism towards one specific thing.
Yeah.
But also like, what's your backup numbers? Let's stack and rank those. Oh, cool, that's number 2. So I actually don't remember what was last year, like the one that we were like, that's the one. Clearly had
we've been drinking
last
beers all
yeah,
day long.
That's true.
So that's the trouble for us right now.
I think
Ratchet and Clank won for us last year, I believe. Right? Yeah.
Was it?
Was that last year? That was last year. Right?
I think Forza Motorsport won for us, and like, oh no, that wasn't even last year, was it?
That's what I'm trying. What was last year's games? When did Ratchet and Clank come out?
2 years ago.
No shit, really?
Maybe 3.
Dude, I'm sure you feel I know it's such a tired thing, but like 2021, you're right. Yeah. It's such a tired thing of Ragnarok won last year.
Oh,
God of War Ragnarok. It's such a tired. The pandemic flattened time so badly that it's so hard to be like, whoa.
No, it is really true. It is really true. That's why I remember 2020 a lot, but 2021 and 2022 kind of melt together for me. And 2023 feels like the first one where I'm like, okay, this is a year with an identity.
So yeah, the way it worked at kind of funny. I always want to say that. So
sorry.
God of War Ragnarok won, followed by, of course, Elden Ring.
Oh, did you get an Elden Ring?
No.
Do you think that would have tilted the decks a little bit?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if I would have enjoyed it, sure, and stuff like that.
Right.
It was the idea that like I get the gameplay, I respect the gameplay, I like the gameplay. I don't like that world. Like that's just not a world I want to wander around doing stuff in. You know what I mean? So it's just like I don't need greasy, slimy dude here who wants to fight me, and like, you know what I mean? Like what I love about this world right now is that, like
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful and it's colorful and it feels lived in a way. And what I love about a good open world game is what we're doing right now. Of like, cool, I don't want to do combat. Can I still play and feel like I'm doing something? And like right now I'm going through and we're unlocking the things and we're doing the shrines and yet. Whereas like Elden Ring was like, cool, this guy kicked your teeth in, so turn the other way and go fight that thing, and maybe it'll
like, also kick your teeth in.
It's like I get that, and I don't get me wrong. There's lots of like, it's not the punishing gameplay. It's not the I love dodge rolls. I love strafing around and finding your weak point. But it's just like, it's just something about that world that does not work for me.
I get it. It is it is oppressive.
Yeah,
and I think it's
a great way to put it.
And it's by design. It is designed to be sort of ugly and brutal and punishing.
Yeah,
and that's not just in the gameplay design. That's in the world design. Like everywhere you go, there's just like disgusting, molten, horrible, screaming shit trying to kill you, and like you get occasional sunsets and stuff that are gorgeous.
Yeah.
But like this game is like just dumping tons of charm and beautiful vistas and like curiosity and like we can go over here and like you can cut the grass and you'll find a cricket and then you cut the grass in the Elden Ring and like some guy comes out and like, eats your head, right? It's also like Elden Ring
demon possessed my wife and murdered me, so now I'm murdering you.
And
I only know that because I watched some lore video. From some other kid.
Yeah. And I love Elden Ring a fucking ton. One of my favorite open world games. One of my favorite games ever made. But so much of that game is built around conflict.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas this Tears of the Kingdom is, I feel like, inherently about connection. It is about bringing things in the world together to attach them to each other, which is a fundamental gameplay mechanic. But also, like, you're rebuilding parts of the world. You're bringing back villages and townspeople, and this is a disparate world post, some bad shit happening, and you're here to help. And so that's very different than Elden Ring, which is just like, I'll fuck up some beasts for you, and also whatever else 4-hour lore videos are about.
Yeah. And so to put that up against Ragnarok, God of War 2018 being my current favorite game of all time, right? Like I think I just love that story, and I love that gameplay, and I love that world, and it's like, especially for the themes and the way they matured the characters and relationships in that game, like that was just a no-brainer for me. So like, there's a world where I got into Elden Ring and swung the vote by putting it some other way or whatever.
Totally.
I don't even know if that's 100% true, because I think you'd have to go back and watch the Game of the Year Games cast, but I think it was one of those things where God of War had like so many points. It was like Andy and somebody else put it Elden Ring #1, but the rest had God of War 1. Like it was like such a dominant victory for that game.
I remember seeing Andy at the
Mommies and daddies.
Oh, there they are. There they are.
Ooh.
At the screening for the Batman, and we and we turned around and we just like geeked out for like 45 minutes about Elden Ring.
I remember that.
before the movie started.
Yeah,
and I hadn't seen any of you guys since like early 2020. Because this is before your studio launched.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's this guy.
Uh-oh. It's a house of fuckers. You know what you can do to him?
What's that?
You can ascend through his penis. You can.
Okay.
Yeah, go get underneath his bungus and get up there. Ready? Oh, man. Oh, fuck.
Oh, I'm gonna die, Brian. This is a bad idea.
No, you...
Why'd they put the A button where the B button is? God damn it, Nintendo!
But you can't get up there. You just got to push through his pelvic.
Okay. His pelvic floor.
Yeah.
You learn a lot of words.
You really do here in Tears of the Kingdom.
That's what we're here for.
You know?
This is why it's an educational series. By the way, this is the penultimate episode.
Yeah, that's right.
You got one more coming.
Yeah, if you're worried that we're not going to beat the game in time, worry no more. We will not. It's not happening. We're just hanging out.
When I feel like I'm closing in on the end, Brian, I'll hit you up and be like, you got to come back.
Oh yeah. I absolutely will.
Ben will be 13.
If you are definitely legitimately like near the end of this game and you're like, I got to film this, I'm coming back.
Right,
absolutely. Taking the day off, I'm gonna come hang out, drink beer, beat Tears of the Kingdom. Right now we have, this episode, the next episode, and it's raining, so there's really only so much we can accomplish. But we can at least do this tower right here. That'll be a good time. We don't have to ascend through the
dingus,
the bunkus, the pangus. That we were talking about cursing in front of our kids.
Yeah.
The funny one is using is words that you have for things that they will also describe, like fucking shit and piss and stuff like that. Obviously, we're gonna say that stuff all the time.
Of course, all the time.
You say fuck all every single day of your life for the rest of your life until you're dead. But then there's words that for parts that kids have.
Sure.
You have to come up with like funny words for those things.
Yeah.
We realized the other day my kid has just been calling everything the butt.
Oh, nice.
All of it.
Okay.
And we're like, we should probably have like a kid-safe name for the other stuff.
Well, all it is right now, again, since we're far from that to a degree, is like, are we going to do this right or are we going to do this wrong? Or, oh my God, you see these videos and these TikToks, these articles or whatever. And so, yeah, Jen sent me one that was like, you can't call, don't call, don't make up pet names or like,
yes.
like pee-pees or not pee-pee even.
Wee-wees.
Yeah.
Pingus, wangus.
Pishalik. That's what
Pishalik.
Nick's Italian grandmother would be. Nick, did you clean your pishalik? Like that was the thing that would go on when he was a baby. When he was a baby.
Yeah.
Or
I've never heard that word before.
And so that had just caught on at the house where we were doing it for quite a bit or whatever. And then Jen found the thing of like, calling them a name, then confuses it that if somebody was bad to them and did something horrible to them, they wouldn't exactly know how to say it or do it. And it's like, oh, fuck, okay, that's a great point. We need to worry about this, that, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
I bet I got to go through that fucking well to get in here.
Oh, I'm sure there's some sort of fuckery happening. No,
two video game experts.
It's broken.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So you gotta we gotta get downstairs, electrocute the bungus.
The electric slide.
Oh.
Who needed help? What?
You can drop your phone.
Were they down here? Okay.
Yeah, you're good. There's water down there.
Well, I know the help word. I thought maybe they were on the other side of the thing, but they're not.
Other side of the what thing?
The well.
They're in the
top
well.
of the. I know, but I was saying maybe they were on the side of the well.
What the side? How small would they be? Like a little piece.
Dude, I fucking had a fairy in goddamn Ocarina of Time. I don't know what's gonna be over there.
This is a world of whimsy and mystery.
Link,
you're correct.
Link.
You are correct.
Listen.
What do you think it's gonna be? Eggs?
That's why they put the fucking B button where the A button should be.
Get rid of any of these fucking red ass, ready to die. And drop that shit in the piss. Get out of here. Get it out of here.
Get your Pishalik out of here.
Oh, do we have our
Rockman's always with us.
There he is. Okay.
Come on, Goran.
There he is. Oh, yeah, this is nice.
Love a good bomb flower.
I think it's. Oh, wait. Can you walk slower? What is he, sick?
We don't know how long he's been down here without food or sustenance. We don't know how he's exhausted.
We're like, come on.
I'm in a hurry, sorry.
Set up a trap in the ruins, and now I'm stuck. What a mess.
What a time.
Oh, so there's a cave on the other side we got to get to. Not a well, but the well showed him the thing, and then we can get to the...
Sure.
We got this.
Yeah.
We're professional gamers. Esports. Why did you do that?
I want to drop a little tag so I know where I'm going.
Okay, you were worried about him. Can you zoom in on his face again? He's doing fine. He's well. See? That's a face of a man that has...
Who locked Harry Styles down here? You know what I mean?
Look at it. He's doing great. He's got a little smirk.
He's flashing.
Got the freckles. His hair's doing great. Still got his neck. He didn't eat his necklace for sustenance yet. He's doing great. I don't worry about him at all. I think he could have gotten up faster.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. You were like, we don't know how long he's been down. He's fine.
I give people the benefit of the doubt, Brian. It's what I do.
I think he's been down there for like 8 minutes. He's just like, I fucked this up. God damn it.
Somebody will come along.
They'll take care of him.
This episode's brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. The NFL season is going strong, and DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking new customers up with an offer that's even stronger. You can bet $5 on any game this week to score $200 instantly in bonus bets, and DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of a sweetener offer every game this October. There's a ton of these football games happening, and each and every one, you're going to want to be there on DraftKings Sportsbook. You can get in on the game day greatness. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, and you can use code KindaFunny. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet 5 on the NFL. That's code KindaFunny only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, you can call 1-877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. You can call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort KS, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles, LA. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in ONT. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions. Terms responsible gaming resources.
What a soundtrack, too.
I know, right? Well, that was like, remember when we did the Minecraft Let's Play series, we would sometimes be like, oh shit, this music is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
What was that guy, C4 or something? Like, he was jamming out on the piano, in his house.
If you're not DJ Junkie XL, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, the only musician.
I mean,
DJ
when you write a song like Is She With You from Batman v Superman,
yeah,
that's it. You're in the history books.
Yeah, then that you get up there as the only musician award.
Oscar for best music. You're welcome, sir.
There you go.
Oh, you're going to go electrify the thing for me? Because that'd be helpful.
Was Junkie XL ever like Junkie XXL? Like a big...
I don't know.
Wouldn't that
good
be cool?
though. Yeah,
if like you lost a bunch of weight and people that you could change your name.
Yeah, that's happened before to somebody, right?
Like you and I both lost some pounds here and there, right?
Yeah, here and there. Yeah, you've lost a lot of weight. You look amazing.
We were a very heavier show when we started out.
For sure.
Combined. I think we had
combined.
We had an extra.
Our powers combined.
Our power and Mike Drucker lost a lot of weight too.
Yeah.
And then Nick Scarpino from the ancient days to now lost a lot of weight. And so if you took like the actual the OG Up at Noon crew, you could get 2 more people out of that.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, easily. Yeah, big time.
If you could take all the extra fat and then give them like wigs and clothes.
And that's what we did. Often on that show, we gave wigs to fat.
And make two big boys, like Station at the end of Bogus Journey, or like Nothing But Trouble.
I never watched Bogus Journey.
What?
I loved Bill and Ted's 1, and I never watched Bogus Journey. I never watched the new one.
Have you ever seen Nothing But Trouble? Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, Demi Moore?
Yeah, but as a kid, not as an adult.
You should watch that movie again.
Okay.
Terrible film.
Okay.
Absolutely terrible. But is deeply fascinating in the amount of talent involved per second.
To make it still terrible movie.
Versus something, and it's like it's a little horror, but it's mostly like very shitty 90s slapstick comedy.
Gotcha.
But you can like
was that a 90s movie?
Yeah. You can hear the cocaine.
Oh, sure. Okay.
You know,
great.
like it's in their it's in their noses. Like it's when they talk, you can hear it. But either way, there were two very big twins in that movie, and I believe they were played by Dan Aykroyd plays like 5 characters in the movie.
Of course.
And they are like these disgusting, greasy, roly-poly, like big, disgusting guys in diapers.
Yeah.
And I'm not selling you on this film, but
this movie sucks. You should watch it.
you could make them out of the weight that we lost collectively from the old
gotcha.
Up and Crew. It was the ramp up I was doing there.
Well, 2 things then to jump off of this story.
Is this open?
The dude said I had something to do with the tower. I'm meeting you there. Or I'm going back to the tower, he said, or some shit.
Oh, so
Well, we opened it, but I'm assuming he's going to be in there being like, yeah, there he is.
there he is. Yeah, he fixed it.
Oh, Mr. Thanks for saving me.
Elmer's.
No, so, yeah, Dan Aykroyd playing multiple characters in a movie, right? He's, you think of Eddie Murphy now when you think of that.
Yes.
But, there was a deleted scene from Ghostbusters where him and Bill Murray played the bums they played on SNL.
Oh, no shit.
And they had it in the test screening, and people were so confused of like, why are Venkman?
Oh!
And they're like, all right, we got to take this out. This doesn't make any sense.
Oh, that's such a funny bit. I had no idea.
When the terror dog's chasing Lewis through Central Park, they were like they do this whole like bit, and then they get knocked over by the terror dogs.
Did you ever get Aykroyd's skull vodka?
He gave it to me.
He gave it to you?
When I interviewed him back in the day for Ghostbusters, the video game at IGN, they gave me one.
Oh my God, you met him?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. How many Ghostbusters?
IGN Mass Hysteria. You should go watch it.
Yeah, go watch that. How many Ghostbusters have you met?
Well, it's an interesting question in how you define met. So, how many people have I interacted with? 3 or 4. And I'm not counting the new class yet, but I can even, if you want to get social media involved, I can count that too.
Sure.
But let's talk about the classic Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Dan Aykroyd interviewed for IGN and the Ghostbusters video game. You can find it as IGN Ghostbusters Mass Hysteria video.
Fuck yeah.
That's where I dressed as a Ghostbuster.
And he gave you his crystal his glass skull.
It was the weirdest thing of like, now, again, you and I are in a very different place now where we started our careers.
Yes.
And so like now we're used to this kind of stuff. But yeah, back then I went to New York, and this would have been 2009. I went to New York. I brought my own proton pack, my own jumpsuit, my whole thing.
On the airplane or on the? You checked him in the.
I checked it. Yeah. I took an IGN Pelican case and put my proton pack.
This was for the interview?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
And well, what it was is we went there, and Kyle Watson from IGN Video at the time met me there, and then we went around the day of shooting in front of all the iconic Ghostbusters New York locations.
Oh my God.
I know. We'll talk about a dream come true. It's 20 minutes, but we'll tell the story.
Yeah, of course.
And so then at the end, it was that I went and played the game for a bunch, and then got an interview with Dan Aykroyd. And so he comes in, he's like, I'm like, hey, bye everybody. Thanks for being part of the video. It's been amazing living the dream. And then the door opens, and he comes in, he's like, my recruit. Boom. And I'm like, ugh. And he comes over and I interview him, and it was great. But when it was that thing where like, all right, you're gonna have Dan in 10 minutes. He's gonna be here in 10 minutes to do this interview. Great, okay, cool. And like 5 minutes to go, his like publicist comes in, like she's all out of, like holding a million different things and papers and whatever. And she comes in like, we have to have this Crystal Skull vodka in the shot. Is that okay? And we're like, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah,
like,
who cares?
They moved a table and put it, and they lit it, and they didn't give a shit about how me and Dan looked in frame. Even when Dan got there, they were like,
just that.
We have to light the vodka the right way and have it in the back.
It's arguably, or inarguably, one of the coolest bottle ever made. Yeah. Like it's that, and like there's like a Tommy gun full of tequila that you see when drug dealers die.
Yeah. So I interviewed Dan there. Then I counted the late great Harold Ramis. He was on Fox Thing in the Morning, which was in the local Chicago news program, right? And when he was on that day, I stayed home, or I was summer vacation. I was home, and I called and finally rang through the studio. And they're like, do you have a question for Harold Ramis? I'm like, yes, I do. They're like, you'll be on in 5 minutes. And I ran downstairs, and I shoved the VHS tape, and I hit record, and I ran back up. And this is like, I'll ballpark it and say 92, 3, 4, somewhere in there,
No shit.
Early,
that far?
Mid-90s, yeah.
Fucking hell, that's amazing.
And so he was doing, I'll never forget it, and I don't have the tape, and I've tweeted at Fox Chicago, like, does anybody have these things?
Yeah.
Maybe it's in my dad's VHS collection if he kept them when he moved. But I got on the horn with him, and they're like, he was broadcast. They were interviewing him. They were in studio, and he was in a Chicago deli. Like he was at like basically the Chicago version of Katz's. Like he's at a diner and drinking coffee. And I got through and they were like, yeah, this is Greg from Glen Ellen. I was like, hello, Mr. Ramus. Like, I was just wondering if there's going to be a Ghostbusters 3. And he's like, oh, that's a great question. We get it all the time. Yep. He's like, and he goes, Danny won't let it die. He's coming up this summer and he wants to write it. He wants to, so we'll see what happens. And I'm like, thank you. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
It's like, that counts for me. And then Ernie Hudson, I've only talked to through Twitter DM.
Really?
When we were doing Up at Noon, I forget.
You're trying to book him.
I forgot how I did, but I got him to follow me, and I DM'd him like, "I have a show, and you should come do it." And he gave me his PR people, and it didn't come together. But I've talked to him through their the most passing thing. And what sucks is, a lot of things sucks. One of the missed opportunities. Him and I are both in the Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed video game.
Yes,
and we actually do work together, even though we don't work together. Where the idea is that my ghost possesses Winston.
Oh my God.
He laid down his audio. Then when I came in to record,
you heard
they'd play his stuff in my head for once, and then I'd talk over it. So we would be the same character.
And you get to react to it.
No. We were doing the same thing.
Oh.
So he was like, he's Winston possessed. So he'd be like, and then I'd come in and they'd lay our voices together. And so
God.
The performance goes back and forth, mainly him, but back to me.
Right.
And then eventually they rip my ghost out, and it's this sniveling me of like, yeah. And so I have my own thing. But when they are doing a DLC pack or whatever, so they brought me in for a few more things. And it was like, totally just do you a favor, come in and do a few recordings.
Yes, of course.
And it was that thing of, I came in and they were like, if you can hang out 2 more hours, Ernie's coming in to do his thing. And it was that thing where I like legitimately couldn't, where I was just like, life is pulling me away from you right now. I'm sorry. And it was like that was my chance to see him in person, but it's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Again, I feel like I've had
I think you'll have another chance.
I do too.
Like he's the one that's
he's the guy. He's I feel like right now I could hit up Sony and get him on our shows here. Or
he's also like he's acting constantly now and popping up in shows all the time. Whereas like Aykroyd's kind of been like, nah, I'm good. And
that's the thing. He's done. I don't need him. You know what I mean? Harold's passed away, and Bill Murray is like one of those weird ones of like. I was so obsessed with Bill Murray and Venkman. Yeah. But it's like now as an adult, I'm just like, what did I even talk to you about? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you're there's no you're just Bill fucking Murray, which is awesome, but it's also like I don't know, man.
It's that thing. It's Harrison Ford doing the Indiana Jones press cycle where you're like, dude, I respect the hell out of you and your characters, but like this is an intimidating interview because like coming in as a fan and being like, I would love to geek out right now. Yeah. I'm gonna hit a wall where you're just like, I don't give a shit about that. Totally. And that'll be the funniest thing ever on social media, but I'm just sitting there like a goon with a microphone being like.
And how much do you know about the whole 1-800 number and all that jazz for Bill Murray?
No.
So the story goes with Bill Murray that if you want him to do anything, be in your movie, do an interview, whatever, there is a 1-800 number you get that you call and it just goes to a voicemail and you leave the voicemail, and if he's interested in the project, he'll call you back. And it's
so you have to it's a pitch line basically.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that's a hard number to get. I've worked a lot to try to get it. And there's 2 sides of that coin to me, depending on who you talk to, of like Bill Murray, what a quirky guy, and then there's the other side of like, what a fucking asshole.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because there's
right.
the one, and I'm gonna screw this up, people watching. I want to say it was Broken Flowers, and so it's a movie he did, obviously.
Jim Jarmusch.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, excellent film. It's
great movie. Yeah, I loved it.
Please go watch Broken Flowers.
I think it's Broken Flowers, but it might be some other indie he's done. Mm-hmm. But the story goes is that the guy got the number, called it, left his pitch for Bill Murray. Just fucking silence.
Oh.
Gets a phone call, I don't know, on a random Tuesday or whatever,
right?
Answers it, it's Bill Murray. Hey, I got the script or the thing from my guy, and like I heard your pitch. Like I'm in. I'd love to. Can you meet me in LA right now? And it was something like he was driving to his father's funeral or something like that. And he's like, I can't. I'm actually in Colorado, and I'm making all these details.
Of course,
I'm in Colorado, and Bill Murray's like, oh, no problem. Don't worry. Do your thing. I'll call you back. He's like, can I get a number? He's like, no, I'll call you back. Don't worry about it. And it hung up, and it was like 6 months later.
Oh my God.
Bill Murray called him back, and it was some other random ass time. Like, can you meet in 2 hours? And he's like, yes, I can do it. And he did it. And so it's that thing where it's like, on the one hand, Bill Murray's whole shtick is like takes the French fry off the table, they'll never believe you.
Yeah,
which
he
is
shows
hilarious.
up at DJs or bartends.
Comic-Con like 3 years ago, whatever, it was before COVID, but it was like,
Yep.
where he was wandering on the streets and partying with people. Like, those are all really funny things, but then those kind of stories right here, it's like, that's not as neat. And
Yeah.
it's, my whole thing is like what I've said before is like, I'd love to call the number and be like, we podcast and do this thing, but I know that then it would be, I'd have to leave my ringer on. Because
Yep.
one day I'm going to get 3 a.m. phone call of like, I'm in San Francisco. Kevin, wake up, we're podcast.
You're a very organized person. You have
Yeah.
you run a tight schedule. You have production calls and meetings and shoots every single day. It
Yeah.
took us 7 months to get
this
to
done,
get
yeah.
this together.
You and I are so
because
busy.
we were going back and forth. Oh, this day, no, not this. Perfect. Yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
No, next week, and then finally we get it to where we are. So the idea of having someone that's I don't know, that intangible,
Yeah.
where you can be like, he might show up at any given moment. When that happens, we have
Yeah.
to drop everything and make it happen. A little scary, a little intimidating.
Yeah,
so
it's a
I'm
weird
with
thing
you
where
on
it's
that.
like, yeah, I don't know about it. So I don't know if that'll ever happen for me, if I'll ever meet him or whatever. But we'll see. And there's been a couple others of like, so like the new Ghostbusters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, first off, when I got to the second time I ever played hooky from E3 at IGN's War Room, where.
Right.
IGN would be, you remember the old days of we go there, you see the games, you come home, you're riding inside of the hotel ballroom they've taken over until 3 a.m. First time I ever bounced was Man of Steel. I went to watch Man of Steel on a screener. Maybe actually that might have been the second time. The first one would have been the Ghostbusters 25th anniversary. They put out a Blu-ray of it for the first time.
Oh,
and
right.
There was a screener of it in Hollywood, and I went over there and I got to talk to Ivan Reitman. Where we were sitting, it was like it was a giant thing of press, and I was just on press, so I got to walk over there. I had no questions, I had no recorder, but it was on what I got to do, which for me was a big deal. Where he's like, somebody asked a question, and he's like, "Well, yeah, after the first one, we did the sequel 2 or 3 years later," and I was like, "It was 5." And he looked at me and he goes, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, the movie starts 5 years later. It was 84, 89. It's like, "Oh man, I didn't know."
Who's
like,
counting?
I know, totally. And it was like we had this weird one-off conversation in somebody else's interview, and
Yep.
I was like, and then Jason Reitman was there too, and I was like,
Oh,
man,
fuck.
I love Juno, but no reason to talk to you.
Right,
Ghostbusters person. Now he's in charge of the
I
franchise.
forgot he did Juno. Yeah.
And so then with the new class, when I put up the photos of, Ben had just been born. He's born in October. The movie came out,
Right.
Afterlife came out in November. It was COVID times, so we rented a theater as KindaFunny, and then me, Jen, and Ben as a, not even a 1-month-old baby or whatever, dressed up as Ghostbusters and went.
Oh my
And so I
God.
put up photos, and McKenna Grace responded like, "Oh my God, this is the cutest thing ever."
Yeah.
On my Instagrams, and then Logan Kim's said a few things too or whatever, which is weird for then a 40-year-old to be like, "These kids are responding to my, this is neat." But you understand of like the fandom,
No,
what they've
it's
entered into.
yeah, it's all part of the whole thing.
And then something I've never said publicly is like, I got approached for New York Comic Con to go do a one-on-one panel with Jason Reitman about Ghostbusters, and I forget what the conflict was. I think it might have been Gen Family stuff, but it might have been something else. I forget what it was, but I was like, I can't. And maybe it was. Oh no, it wasn't Gen Family stuff at all yet. It was it was Spare Bedroom, where it was the week before the Spare Bedroom, and I'm like, that is my son's first birthday, and I cannot get sick. I cannot catch COVID before the Spare Bedroom. Yeah. Those opportunities will come again.
And that's one of those things where it's like you take it in and you go like, well, the part of my battery that got recharged there is that it was good to be asked.
Yeah, of course.
Even if I couldn't make it, which will sting forever a little bit.
Yeah.
There is that part there where it's just like, that was an almost.
Yeah.
And I almost had that chance, which is fucking amazing.
Well, it's that thing, where it's like, does it sting? I don't even know if it does, because it is like, think about how far I've outkicked the coverage of being a Ghostbusters fan.
Oh, God.
I'm in the game. I was in the trailer. I got to film with the Real Ecto One, and all. It's like, what do I need to worry about? You know what I mean?
I mean, like the whole reason why I even brought it up, because like you're that guy.
Yeah.
And always have been. So, man, that fucking rules.
Well, this has been 30 minutes. 20 minutes of tears is what we call the show, but we are just nerding out about fucking shit at the end here.
Yep.
Remember, this was the penultimate episode, ladies and gentlemen. You have one more 20 minutes of tears after this, where Ryan and I just podcast while we play Tears of the Kingdom, because it's great.
Again, we're not going to beat this game, that's for sure. I mean, I would argue now less than ever do we have a chance of beating this game. But you will hear some good stories along the way, and really that's what it's all about, right? So, Greg, I love working with you. I love
working
hanging
with
out
you,
with you. It's always good to catch up. We just hit the ground running, and check out more episodes of this. We've done 6.
This is 7. This is 7.
This is 7, so 6 before
before
this,
this, one
one
more.
after this, and in between then, go check out KindaFunny. Support their Patreon. Go check out my shit on IGN. I'm on Nintendo Voice Chat and Podcast Beyond, and watch all of Greg's old. Ghostbusters coverage, his ancient video where he gets a bottle of vodka from Dan Aykroyd. Just
There's
amazing.
a great GameScoop TV where when they delay it and Damon breaks the news to me and then I try to jump off the parking garage.
Oh my god.
There's a Portillo reference. I freeze myself in one GameScoop TV after.
Yep.
It's a great stuff over. IGN, what a great site.
Oh
You know what I mean?
God, yeah. We've been, it's going strong for a long time now. Kind of funny as well. We're killing it. Everyone's doing well. Hope you're doing well too. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.